it to Paul and Alicia to kick us off now.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Thanks everybody for joining. Excited to talk a little bit about how you can use video to grow your business by 10% or more into 2021. I'm also excited to have with us a couple of our guest speakers, Alicia Baruti, who's the national speaker for BombBomb. Excited to have her talk to us a little bit about what she's seen in the field, interacting with those that use video on a day-to-day basis and how they are gaining traction and success. We also, as Ryan mentioned, I'm excited to have Mark Parsons here as well. He is a real estate agent and an advisor as well, and has actually put into practice video. So we're excited to talk with him. He is a real live kvCORE user and core video user. So excited to hear about his implementation and what he does as far as cadence and using video. Alicia, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting me join you guys today. We're gonna spend a little bit of time today talking about the why behind this kind of video, but especially why right now. And then we're gonna talk to Mark about what he's doing and talk about some of the strategies that he's seeing and how it can help you really increase your business. And then I am gonna share with you guys the one video that you absolutely should be sending right now over the holidays. And then we're gonna show you guys exactly how easy it is to do this from inside of Core Video. So, and then of course, like they said, we're definitely gonna make sure we do have time for questions. So please make sure you give us those questions. We absolutely wanna get all of your questions answered. So, you know, we live in a pretty video-centric society. We've seen this happen more and more and more and more. And then now, since the pandemic hit these last several months, we've seen a shift in video even more, where video has really become almost a need to have for a lot of agents. And so, you know, there's so many things that you can do with video, but you know, a big piece of the power of video here really is that it's giving you an opportunity to be more human, to get face to face. Paul, can I share my screen, or are you gonna run through the slides? I just want to make.
Yeah, let me pass it over to you. Absolutely.
Thank you. That would be awesome. Give me 1 second here, guys. There we go. So humans have communicated this way for as long as they've communicated in this face-to-face way. And yet we let so much of our business communication be sent over forms of communication that don't show who you are. They don't show your best asset. They don't give people an opportunity to get to meet you and know and build that know, like, and trust, which is not just a sales buzzword. This is actually how people make decisions, is that know, like, and trust. I'm gonna share with you guys some stats here real quick. 64% of consumers said that they make a purchase after watching a branded social video. Right? That's powerful. They're building enough of that know, like, and trust on social to actually go forward and make a buying decision. Now, that's not necessarily a buying a house decision, but this shows you that they're building that know, like, and trust through video. Marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. This is a big one. Viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video, as compared to only 10% over text. Now, I want you to think about how much of your communication with your clients is explaining things, what needs to happen, what's going to happen. They're gonna retain more of that just because you sent a video as opposed to sending it over text. And when Mark and I start talking, we're also gonna talk about some of the ways that it can actually save you time because they're understanding that information a little bit better. So those stats are very indicative of video and marketing. What we're actually talking about today is using video to build relationships. The real estate industry is all about building relationships and maintaining relationships. It does not matter how much technology comes into this space. Your job is about, can you build a relationship with someone and do you maintain that relationship? And so that's really what we're talking about today. I already saw a question in the chat that I love, that someone wanted to know the difference between a link to a YouTube video. And we're going to talk about that. So first thing is, I want you to just see the side by side here. You guys are smart, right? The difference between seeing a plain written out email from any agent tells you nothing about this person and why you would want to work with them. And immediately, just from that video image, you have more of a sense of who Melanie and who Jesse is here just from seeing that in the inbox. So number one, the first reason why you would do this instead of just a YouTube link is that when you send an email with a YouTube link, all they're getting is just a link, right? You're asking them to click on a link and go somewhere else. Whereas when you send a video through Core Video, right in their inbox, they're going to see a human face. They're going to see their name if they wrote your name on the whiteboard, which is a really, really powerful strategy. But right away, as soon as they open the email, they're getting a sense of who you are. It's a lot easier to get someone to press play on a video with a big human face and the person's name written on a whiteboard than it is to get someone who's never even met you before to click on a link and go to YouTube. So that's one of the reasons. But I already put a slide in here for you for the people that would ask that question. Why can't I just use my phone? Why would I need BombBomb? So there's a few things here. Number one is that animated preview. We're taking the first 3 seconds of your video and we're automatically looping it into a GIF so that when they open up the email, they see that big thumbnail there. Another thing is the file size, right? If you were to pull out your phone and you wanted to record a video and send it to someone right now, well, that file size is massive. So it's either going to tell you that you have to trim the video or it won't send, or if you're trying to send it over email, it's going to try and send it as a Google Drive file, or it'll send it as an attachment, this little thing down in the bottom that they actually have to download. Another thing is that you get all of your tracking analytics. Inside of Core Video, you have your tracking analytics to know who's actually engaging with you if they played your video. YouTube is only going to give you a video count. So if you're sending individual videos to someone, now you might know that someone watched the video, but if you're using a video on YouTube over and over again, you don't know who actually engaged with that video and who didn't. The nice thing about Core Video powered by BombBomb is that if they have an internet connection, they're going to be able to watch your video. That's it. It's as easy as that, right? If they can open up their email or if they're accessing their text messages, they're going to be able to watch your video because the connection's there. And now you are speaking to them directly. So the real thing here that I want you to focus on as we start talking to Mark and hearing how he's using it in their business is that the power of using Core Video in your business is that it's humanizing a lot of the communication that you're already doing, right? We're not asking you to completely change the way you do your business or try a new sales strategy or new scripts or anything. We're just giving you the ability to communicate in a more effective way, and that is what is going to help your business. So I am going to introduce Mark. I know he was already introduced to you, but hello, Mark. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
Mark and I discovered yesterday when we met that Mark actually lives in the same area that I grew up in, British Columbia. So kind of fun there. So, you know, Mark, I'd love to hear, before we actually get into some of the more strategy and the way that you're actually using it, I'd love to hear from you. What was it about video in the first place that had you incorporating this into your business, into your real estate business?
Yeah, so for me, and as I was saying to you off camera before, I do a lot of online lead generation, and the reality is just, you know, if somebody is clicking on your on your forms, filling them out, sending you their information, there is a high probability that they are doing that with 5 or 6 other people as well. I always assume that any online lead I get is probably in at least half a dozen other databases. So really, it was important for me to differentiate myself right off the bat. Like you said, build that know you, like you, trust you factor, and just put a face to my message, just a way to stand out in the crowd, although I do use it for so many other areas in my business as well, existing clients and things like that. But as well, I mean, the statistics don't lie. They've been saying for a very long time that that video is the way. And of course, things really amplified when we've had COVID and things like that. But it was already happening regardless.
Yeah. So one of the things that you're doing a fair amount is first touches.
Yes.
And I would call that, you know, the building relationship phase. So what does your process look like for that? What is, when someone comes in, where are you connecting with them in video at the beginning of that process?
So when it starts, my whole process and intention is to do what I can do to get them to watch that video. I want them to watch that video as soon as possible, because that's really going to distinguish me from everyone else. I mean, everyone's got automatic text set up, automatic email set up. You know, there's not a real estate software that you can purchase that doesn't have pre-written drips for you. But the way I do it is once, you know, if they've opted in for a list of a certain type of home, whatever the case is, my first couple of touches are actually going to be very personable. I'll start off with a text and say, hey, I just got your request there. So I just sent you an email with that information, you know, talking about whatever it was they requested, so that they really know, I know what they opted in for, and saying, I just sent you an email with that information. If it's not in your inbox, check your spam, because I sent it there, and my video is there waiting for them. And the great thing is with BombBomb or Core Video is that I can see if they watch it, and if they watched it 100%, and then I can just tag them accordingly. Now I've got someone who I already know has who I have their attention. And if you follow up with someone after they watch 100% of video, they're going to be far less cold every single time. And you know, you want to speak to people who you have their attention, and being able to see that, you know, that is, I mean, we all categorize our databases. I'm telling you, for people that have watched your video or not, they need to be categorized as so, because these people are listening. And what I've also found is that people who open one video often will open the next and the next. And yeah, that's how I've been initializing my follow-ups from new contacts I have never spoken to before.
Yeah. Well, and you brought up two really important things here. Obviously the tracking, right?
Yeah.
You have limited time for who you can actually really focus on, who you can chase, because you're wearing so many hats, right? You're taking care of clients. And so the tracking gives you that ability to really focus your attention on the people who are paying attention to you, as opposed to just going on tons of real estate websites and putting in the, you know, mickeymouse@gmail.com, right? So the tracking is giving you the intel to know who you should be following up on. But I love what you said about when they open one video, that the likelihood they're going to keep opening the next video. And, you know, we call this the familiarity effect in sales, right? The more time someone sees your face, the more familiar they are with you, you're continuing to build trust throughout the whole course of that relationship. So really, really powerful. I appreciate you sharing your insight here. So I want to show one of your videos. That's a first touch video, so that our audience here can see exactly what this looks like. So this is just one of Mark's lead response videos that he's using. This is an actual video that he sent to an actual potential client. So check this out. Oh. I'm not sure if the video made it in when you converted the slides, Paul.
I can pull it up here. 1 second.
So while Paul is pulling up the video, you know, first touch is just one of the places in that lead response process where, you know, if you have a lead that's gone cold, that's dropped off the face of the planet, video has been shown to be a really, really powerful way to reignite that conversation. Or I encourage people to follow up after a phone call, after a listing appointment, sending that video. I have agents tell me all the time that the video that they send after their listing appointments, when they know they're in a competitive situation, is one of the things that they know is helping them win more listings because their clients tell them, right? They say things like, well, you know, I was talking to a few agents, but that video you sent really put you over the competition.
All right, I'm ready to share that. Let's, if you don't mind just sending the screen share, let's show Mark's video here.
Hey, John, Mark Parsons here with eXp Realty. Just quickly following up on the conversation that you had with Hector. Hector mentioned you're in the early stages of looking to purchase a property, I believe a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in Vancouver, up to an absolute maximum of $800,000. So I will set you up on a property alert. The truth is, John, you have a lot of options in that price range. So, you know, if you have any information for me that could help make that search a little more focused, whether if you prefer, you know, newer construction or a larger property or any particular areas of interest in Vancouver. He didn't mention if you were.
So, Mark, tell me, what kind of responses do you usually get from people when you send those kinds of videos?
Well, the thought I have in my head on that is that when we're initially talking to people, it's real estate. They can be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months out. Having this type of communication along that way is really solidifying yourself with that person. Like you said, the know you, like you, trust you factor. I mean, video is important all the time. There's just so many ways I use it, but the longer out it is, the more important that is, because we all know that there's people who they don't want to speak to you right now because they don't feel they're quite there yet. But these videos allow you to speak with them in a personal way when they can be resistant to having those communications. So, you know, I have that one there. I'll follow up with the guy again. I'll just be checking in. Hey, just want to check in, see how your search is going. If there's anything I can help you with it, just let me know, call, text, email, and that will continue until they're ready. And if they haven't been getting that similar type of communication from other agents that I know have been in contact with them, then it's really not a competition. You know, it's just not.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I hear that from agents all the time. What you said, you know, it's really not a competition at that point, right? Like if they're having conversations with other agents, say they're even having a conversation with 2 or 3 other agents, and maybe they've spoken on the phone and they're getting those emails, they still, until they actually meet that other agent, you are far ahead of the competition because they're building that trusting relationship, because they're seeing your face, because you're communicating over video. So powerful there. I love it. We're going to talk about the way you're using it for transactions here in just a second. But first, I do want to just share with you all that are watching right now that it's not just for building relationships with leads. You guys know how important it is to maintain relationships. And when the pandemic hit and everything got shut down, I was doing a ton of sessions for real estate and brokerages and different franchises and all of that. And one of the things that we've just been encouraging agents to do is take a look at your database, you know, time block out and just send some videos for relationships, just saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you guys doing? You know, like, I know the school year has been tough, but I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you. You matter to me, because this is a powerful way, especially right now when people are seeing less human faces. They might have been working from home for the last 9 months doing pandemic schooling. Oh, like me, right? And they're seeing less faces. And this is a powerful way for you to invest into the relationship with your past clients in a way that doesn't take a marketing plan. It doesn't take scripting. It doesn't take money. It just takes you going into Core Video and clicking on one of your clients and sending them a video. Say, hey, I'm thinking about you. You guys really matter to me. I had an agent tell me that he sent 45 of these one-to-one videos to past clients, just saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you guys doing? Is there anything you need that I can help you with? And from those 45 videos, he had 18 phone calls returned. Do you think those 18 people are customers for life? Yeah. Right? So really, really powerful way to invest into relationships, not just with your leads, okay? So let's talk about transactions. Now, you are using this not just on the initial introduction to clients, you're using it throughout the entire transaction process. So tell me some of the things that you're doing throughout the transaction process that BombBomb or Core Video is helping you be more efficient at.
Well, one thing that is amazing about it is, as we know, when we sit down with clients, especially with contracts and paperwork and things like that, they are a variety of people, meaning some people are really like, look, I don't need you to be walking through all these details. You're boring me. And other people are very detail orientated. So before I ever pull out a piece of paperwork in front of them, I already have pre-recorded videos where I go through the main points and let them know to make note of any questions that they have. So then what I'll do is I'll send it to them. It links for them to view or download the document. I have a video of me going through what are the key points. I tell them to make note of any questions. So when I see them, there is never any point of awkwardness. I'm like, this is a document you saw in the video. Do you have any questions? Yes, they do. We go through exactly what they want to talk about, nothing more, nothing less, or no, they don't have any questions. And then we would simply just get to signing the paperwork. Yeah. As well, if an offer comes in for let's say I'm representing a seller, an offer comes in before I see some people in real time, if you're explaining to them in real time and you say, if you have any questions, just let me know. Some people are 100% comfortable with that. Other people in their head will think, oh, is that a silly question, whatever the case. But, and obviously no question is silly, but when you send it to them in advance, explaining everything, telling them to make note of any questions they have, they can pause, rewind. And I also have a document they can download and read the finer details. It just really makes it, they love it, because by the time we're talking, we're really on the same page, as opposed to me hopping on the phone and telling them what I think is important. I've gone through everything. They can evaluate what's important and ask the questions that are important to them, which is just going to, it'll feel better for them going through that process, because you're really, when you do it that way, you're only addressing what's important to them. And it's very easy to address what's important to you if you're just in the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Meaning me, the agent, which may not be important to them, the customer.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that you said there, when you were saying that, you can say, let me know if you have any questions. A lot of times people haven't had a time to process the information.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the areas that I recommend that agents use video is to set up a conversation if you have to have a tough conversation about lowering the price. This is one of the worst conversations that you have as an agent. And when you call someone on the phone, let's say you call, Mr. Client, he's in the middle of his workday. You say, listen, Mr. Client, we've been getting a lot of feedback on the pricing. I think we might need to drop the price. Where are you guys at on this? Now you've caught him off guard and he's in the middle of his workday and he's not ready to actually have this conversation. And he might need to talk to his spouse or his partner. Whereas when you send a video for this kind of thing, you give them time to process that information without the awkward dead silence on the phone, right? You're seeding that conversation. You're respecting their time and their emotional space so that when they're ready, now you can actually have a conversation.
And I do that all the time. I say, once you've watched the video and you're ready to chat, just let me know.
Yeah, I love it.
And yeah, and in terms of the awkward conversations, yeah, you can end that, because you can really seed it into their head and give them the information, and then they can, like you said, take it in, and when they're ready to chat, they can chat. Because some people may be emotional right off the bat, but if they're given time to watch the video, watch it again, think about it, you know, it will create a far different conversation, and you never want to catch somebody off guard on something that could be perceived as negative from them.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and the nice thing about video is that because you have the ability to communicate with empathy,
yeah,
as a human being,
yes,
you get to actually communicate to them that you care and that I know this is hard. Whereas an email or a text message can be misconstrued as, oh, he doesn't care about us. We're just another client in the mix. You know, he's just trying to get this deal done quickly, right? With video, you get to actually communicate who you are as a human being with empathy and emotion and all of that.
And oh, sorry, I'll add one thing that I have noticed recently, because as realtors, and it's very important to communicate what you're doing for your clients, because if things aren't going the way they imagined in their head, they can often start to think, what are they doing? What is that realtor doing for me? But the way that I communicate so much with video, even when transactions are not going as maybe as expected by the client, I'm continually, and this is 100% since I've been using video, having them say, you know, but I really appreciate what you're doing. They just get it more when it's communicated properly and it's communicated from a person. And that is something that I have noticed, even because sometimes we're like, oh, it's not going how we thought as well. The client's probably thinking that as well. And you know, those conversations, you can anticipate an awkward conversation, but these videos really, because I use them constantly, I'm always in communication. And really, when I think the client is, you know, taking things worse than they are, they're not. They're appreciating, they're expressing their appreciation for the work. And a lot of that has come because it is a real human talking to them, even about the bad stuff.
Yep, 100%. I will tell you that one of the things that I've heard from agents that are really incorporating this into their process of setting up expectations and explaining and using the screen recorder to go over documents. One of the things that agents are telling me is that their clients are actually referring to this when they're writing reviews. Right? Oh, I loved the videos that he sent explaining everything. So not only is it saving you time and it's creating a better experience for the customers, but it's creating enough of an experience that it's standing out in the reviews because they appreciate being communicated to by a human being. So the screen recorder, I know that you use the screen recorder a ton.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite tool.
So go ahead.
Yeah, anytime you're talking about anything that's information-based, you should be using the screen recorder, because on top of a person saying it, also another way for it to resonate with them. And you mentioned something about people remembering things more. Well, the visual going with it helps so much more. And any document I go over at the bottom of my video in the email, I'll say, here is a link to all of the documents I referenced in the video, so that they can click them, download them. I really let them dive in and immerse with everything I've sent them before I talk to them. My conversations are always easy, even when it's should be a tough conversation because of this process. But I use it for market evaluations. I use it for market updates. If I have a listing that hasn't sold, then, you know, it's like, this is what sold in your price range this week. This is what is active on the market. This is where we are at. Just continually, I use the screen record for everything. I use it to explain documents. I use it to do market updates. I use it whenever I can. If I'm talking about something that I am looking at on a screen, you should be sharing your screen. It'll just bring the client into that conversation more. You know, then it really takes it to the same as you sitting at a table with them. If you're on a phone, you could give them a market update and tell them the stuff, but sharing the screen is now the virtual equivalent of sitting at the table with them.
Yep. Which is exactly the power of it. We have a client who does unsolicited CMAs out to his past clients using the screen recorder. So people that aren't necessarily interested in selling, but he wants to give them the information about where their property value is. And he has seen incredible amounts of listings come from just sending a screen recorder with like a little market snapshot of what the value of their house is. Because calling up a past client and saying, you know, would you be interested in sitting down to talk about the value of your house? They're not necessarily going to make time for that. But when you just send it off as a video, they watch the video, and then the wheels start really turning like, ooh, we have a lot more equity here than we thought we did.
Yeah, and it avoids, because everybody is different, and some people, we are salespeople. So even if they did have a good experience with you, phoning them up, asking them about an evaluation on their property, I mean, we're just in a different world today where people are a little, I shouldn't say oversensitive, because it's just the world it is, but things feel more invasive today than they did 10 years ago, like a phone call or a knock on the door. But doing the video and the screen recording, you can get exactly that accomplished. And then when they feel that it's comfortable for them, when they want to have that conversation, they will reach out. And you can see who has been watching your stuff or not. If you're watching your stuff, they care. You are top of mind. If they're watching your videos, yeah, if you want to confirm if you're top of mind, if they're watching your videos, you're their top of mind agent. That's it.
Well, and let's say you sent a market analysis or a CMA to a client, and then 3 months later, they went back and opened it up. The analytics are going to tell you that they went and opened it up, which means that you are literally being told in real time, it's time to call that past client.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That market analysis. Yeah.
Yeah.
The video is not going to play on this one again, which is fine for the sake of time. We're not going to play it, but what I want you guys to understand about the screen recorder is that it keeps your video in the corner and you can move that wherever you want, but it records anything on your screen. And in this example, you had someone that was curious about something in another unit in the building.
Oh yes. So I mean, this couldn't have worked out more perfect. So or you know, it's just a great use to use it. But anyway, so I have a client that had a friend who sold their property in 5 days, or you know, in 1 week with 5 offers, and that hasn't been the scenario of us. One, because we're in a different area, we're in a completely different price bracket, and we're not priced. I mean, and we're fully aware when we listed it that this is not a price that is going to solicit multiple offers. But with that said, as soon as the client said, "Oh no, don't worry about it, no big deal," I'm like, "No big deal? Yeah, right. That is in your head right now, and what's in your head is they got 5 offers in a week, and we didn't." So anyway, I go to look at it and I did a record video. I said, "I know it's no big deal to you, but." I had to look it up, and I said, I want to give you context. And the truth is, it did have 5 offers and sold in 1 week, but it was listed at almost 5% below the absolute lowest sale in the last 4 or 5 months in a hot market. It sold at about $30,000 to $40,000 below the average. It sold below the absolute lowest price of any comparable property that sold in the last 4 months, which has been very much a seller's market. So, which is fine. I mean, as agents, we have clients who may say, "You get me that amount of money, this thing is sold. I don't want that property anymore." I'm not going at the agent, but it was very important to bring context to that for my client, because as soon as my client saw that, she said, "Oh, yeah." She's like, 5 offers to sell the lowest out of every property? No, thanks. That's not what she wants. If my client wanted that, I would give them that. But you know, this is not what you want. So then that was out of the air. And if I had to do it with a phone call conversation, just saying, "Oh, this sold the least and that sold that," she would just, not she would, but she may think that I'm just a realtor trying to paint the better picture. And she may not take it in, but this is just pure raw data. She can look it all up, and I'm going through it like I'm sitting at a table with her, going through it piece by piece.
Exactly. I love it. Such a great use case. I have seen some people asking about the screen recorder. The screen recorder is part of Core Video. It's built right into the platform. And in just a second, I'm going to hand it over to Ryan, and he's going to show you how easy it is. The last thing that I want to end with is the best thing that you could be doing with video right now. Some stats for you to put it in perspective. In 2019, the National Association of Realtors said 90 of consumers would use their agent again, but in reality, only about 13% do. It costs 5 times as much to attract a new customer than to keep an existing one. I'm not going to read the whole quote here, but this is the quote that stat was taken from. And the last piece is so powerful. It says, these two statistics show a disconnect. At some point in the process, consumers are disengaged from their trusted agent, right? They've become disengaged. Once that transaction closes, they had all the warm fuzzies. They loved you. You were the best person in the world because you just handed them the keys to their dream home. But then they feel disengaged. They're forgetting why they loved you so much. And so the best thing that you could do right now is send a video and possibly replace your holiday cards. I'm never ever going to tell an agent, do not send out holiday cards, but I'm going to tell you as a consumer, okay? Because I'm a consumer, I'm not a real estate agent. When I get a card in the mail from a real estate agent or a lender or my dentist, I generally can deduce that they put my name into a CRM or a program that spit out a card right, for me. And I can look at that card and be like, oh, that's nice. My lender sent me a holiday card, and it goes in the recycling bin. As much as your clients might love you, you don't get fridge placement with holiday cards, okay? So that's the first thing. But the second piece about this is that that's one-way communication, right? I get the holiday card. Oh, that's nice. It goes in the recycling bin. If I wanted to send my lender or my real estate agent a card back, that takes a lot of effort on my part. Whereas when you send a video, here's the things that I love about video instead of cards for things like birthdays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy 4th of July, is because number one, they get to be connected to you, right? That familiarity effect. They're seeing your face. Now, Joe Soto does this with his family, and Joe Soto has done this with his family year after year after year. He says this is his secret weapon. Because you get responses, things like, wow, Joe, I cannot believe how big your girls are. So nice to see your face. Merry Christmas to you too. Okay, well, this is a relationship now. It's not just one-way communication. Plus, they're maintaining that trusting relationship with you. Now, if you are on the free version of Core Video, you can't do mass sending. But if you're on the upgraded version, like Mark is, you're able to record a wonderful.
It's extremely reasonably priced.
Thank you, Mark. Right, you can record one video saying, you know, from my family to yours, Merry Christmas, we love you. We know it's been a hard year, but we made it through together. Right, you record one video and you can send it out to your entire database of past clients. And now, rather than a holiday card that you spend a lot of money paying a company to address those envelopes that goes right in the recycling bin, they've seen your face, they feel more connected to you, and it's easy for them to engage back with you. So that's what I think the best thing you could do right now this month with video is to send a holiday video out to your clients. They're going to see your face. They're going to appreciate seeing you. And I'm going to hand it over to Ryan now.
Okay, thanks, Alicia. Let me grab my screen here, pull it up. And what I'm hoping to do, thanks everybody for your questions. I was doing my best there to try to answer all of them. There were a few that maybe I'll just have asked Mark to maybe help address right now. One of them is, what are you using for equipment? I love this question because I think it gets overthought a little bit.
Yeah, so for equipment, I mean, you definitely don't need to overthink it. I mean, if you have a reasonably new laptop, realistically, the eye in your camera is going to be more than enough for these videos, and the mic in, like, if you have a recently new laptop, you've already got the equipment. I'm sending videos to my clients off the eye of my laptop and the microphone of my laptop. So as long as you're in a a reasonably non-noisy environment, you're going to be just fine. Like for the use of these videos to clients and sharing your screen, you actually don't need any equipment other than your laptop, to be honest.
Do you ever use the kvCORE mobile app? I'm pretty sure it's built in there.
I was just talking to Alicia about it the other day. I haven't, and she told me some great features that I wasn't aware of. I'm gonna get into that. I've really been focused on my desktop stuff. You know, we get stuck in our ways, but yeah, I definitely want to start to utilize it more, because then I can, you know, it's about being personable. Then you're using it on the move, outside, on the go, and it just adds another level of intimacy to the, you know, what you can contribute to the relationship with your clients or leads.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and on the equipment front, really all you need is your phone. So
yeah, exactly.
Another question we had, yeah, I'll kind of a two-parter. I'm not aware of whether or not there's a time limit on the videos. And Mark, what do you recommend for length?
So, no, it's good. I'm sending videos that I know are at least, I mean, I try and keep them short, right? But some of these things that I'm doing, and if you're delivering information to a client, they're there to listen. But I know I've been sending some videos 16, 17 minutes long.
Okay.
My market updates are 16, 17 minutes long, and I shoot them out to my entire database.
Yeah. So I would say there's a couple things there. Number one, we do support video files that are up to 45 minutes in length. So you can send a video that long. The screen recorder videos have to be under 5 minutes for a screen record. And then
sorry to interject, but I don't believe so, because that's how I do my my market updates.
Interesting. I think that you may have found a glitch in the system to benefit. I will say for first.
I mean, I can't confirm. You guys go ahead.
So I will say for first touch videos, best practices say you want to keep it under a minute. When you are connecting with a lead for the first time, you do not want to send them a 3-minute video because they won't watch it. So first touches, you want to keep it short and to the point. If you're sending information to a client that they want, then you can definitely go longer.
Yeah, the long ones that I'm talking about are generally a 1-to-1, and it is specific to them. They want to know it because they're either buying a property or selling a property. I'm not typically sending that out on a 1-to-many at all.
Makes sense. Great. So I think now we'll kind of jump into some demo stuff and try to get more of those questions answered about like kind of how it works with kvCORE, some of the pricing questions. And I don't know if this is big enough on everybody's screen, but I built a little demo to kind of give everybody a sense for how one of the ways you can use this in the integration. So if you want to, text core video tips to the number on the screen. Hopefully that's big enough, Mark and Alicia. I don't know if everybody can see that.
Yeah, I can see it.
And I can actually chat this to everybody. But what's going to happen is you're going to get a video back from me. You don't have to watch it right now. But basically, I used the core video integration to auto reply back through a kvCORE Smart campaign with a kind of a hello video. So, oops, I just dropped that to one person. Let me drop it to everybody in chat. And if it takes a minute for it to reply, that's probably because a lot of you are texting my smart number at the same time. I can see my phone blowing up here right now. So while you're doing that, I'm going to jump into kvCORE and just kind of show a few of the things that you can do. And Paul actually is much more, Paul, you just let me know if I'm missing something or if I'm saying something wrong, just cut me off. Okay.
No, sounds good.
Okay. So let me close out this window. You can see here, I'm starting to get you guys texting in on the screen. See all, you probably recognize your number maybe. And what I can do, first thing I want to show is how to send a one-to-one text to a contact. So I'm just going to grab whoever this was and show that if you go right into a contact record and go right to the side where it says core video right here, you can actually open your recorder and send a video right from the kvCORE dashboard. And Paul, do I have this right? Every kvCORE user can send up to 10 of these a month or?
Yeah, so 10 emails. So there's the free offering, Core Video Free, to get your feet wet, practice with the experience, and you can send up to 10 direct email videos a month.
Great. And because I'm on camera now and I'm using Zoom, Alicia, I think you said, do I need to turn off my camera or will I be able to use the recorder live? Let me try this.
Yeah, you want to turn off your camera or else it won't be able to pull your camera.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I know how. Oh, it's working. Great. So you can see right here, right within the dashboard. And Mark, this is probably what you do, I assume.
Yeah.
When you send. So you go right into a contact record. You can hit the record button and just talk to people and send a message out. So that's one place where it shows up if you're doing it one-to-one. You can also use the advanced email editor if you're kind of preparing video emails to send maybe en masse or as part of smart campaigns. You can kind of drag the core video option in here and do the same thing I just did, where you can add a video. You can see my library of previous videos is all right there. I could always choose a previous one and add it to the template, or just click the add video and do that from here. So that's that from a contact record. The demo that you guys just kind of experienced, if you texted me, and I'm getting blown up, I'm glad I have my phone volume off. The way I created that was I went into Marketing Autopilot, and I went into a smart campaign right here this morning, and I created a new campaign. So I'll just bring up the campaign that I created for video tips. And I added a text template to this smart campaign. So if I go into the templates here, I know I'm moving a little fast, and this kind of assumes you guys are familiar with building smart campaigns, but I just want to kind of give you the rough idea of kind of how it happens. So if I click templates and click add template, I could do an email or text message template. So in that case, I did an SMS, and I'm able to do SMS because I do have the add-on. That's an add-on feature, right, Paul?
Yep, that's right.
Yep. So, and it looks very much the same in a text. I could just add video, kind of do that, and then again, start recording. Go ahead.
That library that you access to, Ryan, that's a premium feature as well.
Yep, to be able to see all your previous ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And I was talking to, this is a little bit of a teaser. I was talking, Paul, to Nick, our chief product guy. I said, wouldn't it be cool if we added some pre-built like real estate informational videos in that library? Something we might think about. I might be speaking out of turn, but basically any video you've created before, you're able to access and push out to everybody. Sorry, Melissa, I'll try to talk a little slower. She says I'm on warp speed all the time. All right. So that's that. You can integrate into campaigns. And then the final thing I'd like to show within the dashboard, Mark, I don't know, have you ever done this? This is kind of the holiday video thing that Alicia and Mark were alluding to, is I could go ahead and check everybody off here, do more actions. Oops, sorry, do a mass email or a mass text. So I can send
I've done one to many before, and it works. It's great.
Yeah. So I could see like a new listing, an open house, a webinar invite.
Yeah, and you can create it however you tag up your database. It could be something going out to all buyers, could be something going out to all sellers, all past clients, like however you want to do it.
Yeah. So right there. Oh, that's interesting. And there's a video message option that I hadn't seen before. So I guess that would be the way there, Paul. Just click on that and send to everybody.
Yeah, that's new.
Cool. What else do we have? The mobile app, I just want to mention that. We kind of hinted at it there. If you have the kvCORE mobile app and you have, I think you need to be on the Core Video Premium, you can record and send right from the mobile app, much the same way you can from within the dashboard. And there's the BombBomb plugin, which Alicia might cringe a little because I haven't used it much, but I'll just show it. The Chrome extension right here. So you're able to use that with kvCORE. I can do a camera only or screen recorder. Is this where you need to go to do a screen record, or can it happen from within kvCORE, Paul?
Yeah, that's where you need to go.
Okay. So we had a lot of questions about the screen record.
I don't have the BombBomb installed. I do up until recently anyway, I've been doing the screen recorder from just the little button in the bottom left when you see yourself on the screen. So I have been doing screen recordings without using the BombBomb Chrome plugin. Like if you open up a video where you can record.
Let's see here, open recorder.
Yep, anywhere you open the
button. Yeah, there, right there.
Towards your screen. Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So you can screen record from within or from the BombBomb Chrome extension. Another cool thing the Chrome extension does, I believe it'll let you send from Gmail too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The nice thing about the Chrome extension is that the Chrome extension actually gives you the BombBomb recorder, your video library from anywhere. So say, for example, you are on premium because you got to have premium for that. But say you're on the premium version and you are in your Apple Mail, or you're in Outlook, or you're in Gmail, and someone sends you an email and you want to just respond real quick through video, the Chrome extension would let you do that right in your Apple Mail. What you could do is, if you click on one of those videos for me over on the three dots on the right, one of those. So you could either copy the link. That is for if you're sending it over like Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn Messenger, Instagram Messenger, anything like that. Or if you're going to send it from Outlook or Apple Mail or Hotmail or AOL, you would click that copy for email icon, and then you would just paste that right into your email, and it would bring up, it would do the video thumbnail, the whole thing, and it just gives you more freedom to send from other places is what it does.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, we're getting some questions now, and they're saying, okay, we've got BombBomb being mentioned, we've got Core Video, now we've got a Chrome extension. The good news is we've got this all tied together in the Core Video Premium upgrade, so you only really need the one thing. And maybe I'll leave it to you, Alicia, or to Paul, to kind of explain the difference in the subscription between just having BombBomb versus having, the kvCORE version. And I'll just mention the pricing, Paul, is $30 a month for kvCORE Video.
Yep, that's right. So just to touch on it briefly here, and Alicia, definitely feel free to add some more color. But the Core Video Premium actually provides all these features that we've talked about inside of kvCORE. So you're able to mass text, you're able to mass email, you can pull from an existing video library. You can also use the Chrome extension. But you also, I know a lot of people are familiar with the BombBomb interface. You also can log into BombBomb with your same kvCORE credentials. There's actually a SSO login. So if you go to login.bombbomb.com, right below where you put in your email and password, you'll see a little kvCORE button. Yeah, Ryan's going there live, so he can actually show you what that looks like. So just make sure that you're logged into kvCORE, then you can go to login.bombbomb.com, and then on the bottom there, exactly that little blue button, kvCORE, you can log in with your kvCORE credentials, authorize that, and it will log you in. So you actually get a BombBomb Essentials plan as well, complimentary with Core Video Premium. So I know a lot of you, or some of you might be familiar with the BombBomb interface. Think of BombBomb as the recording studio. If you're familiar with this already, you can actually continue to record just as you would or have been inside of BombBomb. And then when you go over to kvCORE, you can think of kvCORE as your delivery vehicle. This is where your contacts are. These are where your new leads are coming in. So you can interact on a mass scale or an individual scale across email or text inside of kvCORE. And you can actually pull from that video library that Ryan showed you, and that video that you recorded inside of BombBomb will automatically be available to select inside of Core Video. So it's a really tight integration between the two platforms, and pretty powerful to interact with your user base, in particular on the mass scale.
Yeah, so whether, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for the people who are, saying a little overwhelmed of the three platforms, kvCORE, BombBomb, and the extension, everything I talked about in the video today for the last year, I didn't know there was a BombBomb Chrome extension, and I only logged into my BombBomb account like a month ago. So literally you can focus on the one. Everything I've done and talked about was just through the one platform that's in the back end of my CRM. So you can avoid the overwhelm, but there's some extra perks of getting into the other stuff.
I'm going to try and make it really real concise, because there's lots of questions about it. So Core Video is what we're talking about today. But Core Video is powered by BombBomb because we are the video people. kvCORE was not ready to build their whole own video product, and we're the experts. So the partnership between kvCORE is giving you what you would get if you bought BombBomb on your own, except that you're getting all of the benefits of it being built into your kvCORE already. So if you're already a BombBomb customer and you've signed up separately, you can get into the Core Video platform with this deal, right? So you're gonna reach out to, I don't know who they should be reaching out to, but you can get your subscription migrated over to kvCORE, or you can just keep using it the way you have been doing it. It's fine either way, but you don't need to go to BombBomb and buy BombBomb separately. If you're a kvCORE user, then you're going to want to add this on to your, you're going to want to become a premium user here, right some inside of kvCORE. Now, the Chrome extension is just a piece of all of it, just like the screen recorder. It's not a separate product. It's just part of kvCORE video powered by BombBomb. So I'm here as a BombBomb trainer because I know BombBomb and I know video, and I've been doing this for years. But if you have specific questions pertaining to your upgrade or things like that, you're going to do that through kvCORE. Does that make sense for everyone?
Can I add one amazing feature that hasn't been mentioned yet in our conversation today that I found out a little while into using it?
Sure.
For everyone listening, you can upload your videos too and then send them out. So if you have created a home buyer series or anything like that, or you prefer to have something a little more prepared and not just be recording off of the whim on a screen like this, you can pre-record videos and upload them into your video library and then send them out, whether it be one-to-one or one-to-many, or put them, perhaps you have a buyer campaign running and you're going to drip out buyer tips once a week or whatever the case might be. But for me, when I found out you could upload videos, I was like, okay, this just got a little more awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I like to kind of put text overlays and do some stuff sometimes, and I was happy to see that too. I saw it a day or two ago. Very cool. So lots of questions. The difference between free video and premium. Basically, the free gets you those 10 a month that you can send one-to-one. The premium kind of opens up that world of automation where you can put it in smart campaigns. You can send one to many people at the same time. So, you know, I would say if you just want to kind of dip your toes in and kind of get the sense, get used to sending a few videos, try out the free feature, send it to a few contacts one-to-one. But then if you want to get to the level Mark's at there, you're going to want the premium. And Mark, you said, you know, that you feel the price is really worth it. And I feel kind of the same, as just because I've had the opportunity to feel what it's like when people reply to a video you do. And you know 100% for the money you spend that you're getting ROI.
Yeah, and let's just say the way the pricing is, before I got onto these platforms, I was doing the same stuff with a few other softwares connected. And for me, I was just saving money by doing it this way, plain and simple.
Yeah. Hey,
Other
Paul,
people aren't doing it at maybe an added cost, but it is very reasonable. And yeah, if you look at the market, it's priced very, very well.
Yeah, we're getting some questions about the difference still. Paul, do you have a, I know that inside of kvCORE, when you go and click the upgrade, we have a comparison tile. So you'll probably see that when you click to try to send a video, but maybe Paul, if you have a sheet or something we can send out with the replay.
Yeah, we'll make sure we include that. There is a comparison tile inside of the platform, but yeah, we'll make sure we include that in the recap, the succinct comparison between the free and the premium offering.
Yeah. There is no max limit on the number of videos. We have that question. I'm pretty sure you can record as many as you want. The uploaded video, does that change in size by putting it through BombBomb? I don't know.
So when you upload a video into BombBomb, we actually encode it into lots of different formats so that we can deliver the best quality version that the person can handle. So for example, if you are sending a video to someone on a really slow computer with a bad internet connection, we are actually going to deliver a smaller video file, lower in quality, so that they can actually see it without it just jumping around and pausing. Whereas if you are sending it to someone on a great connection, they're going to get the highest quality version that they can actually handle. Now, when you want to know about size, you don't have to worry about file size anymore because we're actually hosting it on our servers. And so they're essentially streaming it when you send it to them, almost the same way as if they were watching it on YouTube or on Facebook. It's just that now they're streaming it and they're watching it directly in their email or in the text message.
Great. I'm trying to keep up with everybody's questions. I'm sure Paul will reach out. We'll reach out. We're able to see all the questions. So if we are leaving anybody behind, we do apologize. But I think the bottom line to kind of recap is that this stuff are ROIs. It'll get you a return on your investment if you do it on a regular basis. And I'll say it's fun. I don't know, Mark, I think you'd agree, right?
Yeah, no, I love it. It actually saves time because I can't type up an email as quick as I can talk.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I have been doing this now for almost 6 years. And as someone who literally teaches this for a living, I still get excited when people send me personal videos because 98% of my emails in my inbox are boring plain text emails. And when I get that video, it's like it breaks up your day. It puts a smile on your face. And that's coming from someone who's been teaching this for 6 years. I still get excited.
Great. Let's answer this now. The question is, do we get access to all of BombBomb with Core Video? I know there's some subtle differences, Alicia. And
I believe, to the best of my knowledge, with kvCORE, with the upgraded version, you do have you're getting access to all of the normal features that you would have from a BombBomb account now. I believe. Now, you do have access to your video library, but you wouldn't have access to the rest of a BombBomb account. If you wanted an actual full BombBomb account with like the content that we push in and all of that, you would want to do that separately through BombBomb, but there's not any functionality that you lose out on with Core Video. You're not losing functionality. It's more just like the extra content and things like that.
awesome. And everybody's wondering, when you opted into these Core Video tips here, I do a lot of content around what videos to send and things like that. So if you do opt into that text, we will be sending you actual examples. Maybe Mark will have some more. Mark, I'd love maybe in the future we can get together. We have our little mastermind group here. Maybe come on and share some more. Yeah. So great. Thanks for the participation, everybody. Paul, is there anything I missed, or Alicia?
No, I think this was great. I do want to make sure that everyone knows that we will be following up and making sure that you have resources and answers to your questions.
Yeah. Oh, the text you guys got when you texted this, I was talking to Nick, our main product guy here inside of real estate. We are working on a way to show the image of the video as well. I think we're working on. I think it works a little different on Android and iPhone, but as far as I knew, we're close to being able to do that in kind of a cool way.
That will be amazing.
Yeah, that'll be fun, right? Yeah.
That would be a game changer.
Great. Cool. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll get the replay out probably this afternoon, maybe tomorrow morning. We'll get it emailed out to everybody. And feel free to use kvCORE support. If you have any specific questions, just go into your dashboard and chat those in. Mark, thank you very much for sharing today.
Thank you for having me.
And Alicia, thank you. And thanks, Paul.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Have a good one.